Today I'm going to go over 6 reasons why the INFJ is the most intimidating MBTI personality type on the planet. Number 1, INFJs are future thinkers. And while that has some negatives like losing track of the present moment, one positive is that we are very adept at seeing where things are headed. Many types feel that it's very psychologically scary to step out and think on their own. They find it unsettling to think about things from various points of view. And they find it terrifying to predict what's coming down the line. These people often fall into societal structures, what we call the herd mentality. There, the thinking is done for them. They just fall in line. More on that later in the video. As INFJs, we feel that the future can be made better by analyzing what is happening in the present. But our predictions are based on the truth of the moment combined with what has happened in the past, in history. And we work to define our future, to predict what's going to happen, because we are not fans of reacting to things in the moment. We don't like being caught off guard. And when we tell others about our theories and our predictions, it often ruffles the feathers of their herd mentality. At this point, they become angry, but they can still see our logic. That makes them even angrier and causes them to deny our truth, even to the point of implying that we're insane or crazy. You are not crazy. You are an INFJ, and you have a very special set of skills. Skills so powerful that sometimes people can't handle them, and sometimes they want to destroy them. Number 2, we understand people deeply. Now this one's related to number 1, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. Very often we understand people on a deeper level in some ways than they understand themselves. For example, we may be able to see why they keep self-sabotaging, or we might be able to see what's got them stuck in life and then give them the steps they need to take to escape. And in one simple conversation, we can pull back layers that show contradictions in what people believe. We can quickly understand what makes them tick and what their motives are. Basically, why they're doing what they're doing. And the more we talk to them, the more we figure out about them. And people can sense that we've figured out things about them. They can tell from how we speak to them that we know their fears. We can see their insecurities and their motives, and they feel mentally naked around us in a way. All people see life through a lens, a story that they built for themselves, basically. And we can pick up on that story. And if that story conflicts with their actions, we can find the holes in it. This makes them start to doubt their story, the very thing that they've been living by for years, maybe even decades. Most likely, they've never met anyone with this ability or anyone that would take the time to make them think about these things this deeply, to actually make them think about the lens that they're seeing their life through. They've probably never met an INFJ before, and it can really freak them out. The power that we have to understand people so deeply gives us the ability to give great advice and to help them. And that's what we want to do. But many people don't like the fact that we can see into their lives so well. And the flip side of being able to see people's inconsistencies and weaknesses, as every INFJ knows, is that we are also able to tear these people apart psychologically if they make us angry enough. We're able, if we're pushed far enough, to disclose their deepest weaknesses and totally destroy them psychologically. Now, I'm sure that many of you INFJs out there have done that to someone when they abused you long enough or badly enough, and it's not a pretty sight. It's an ability that we can't just turn off and on like some radio. So the people who choose to grow close to us have to be able to handle this superpower. And they'll need to understand that we want to use this power for their good, to help them learn, to help them grow, and not to hurt them. Number 3, INFJs can see right through your lies. Trying to snow the boss so that you can get a promotion? The INFJ knows what you're up to, and our eyes tell you that we know. When you pair that with our typical high moral standards, you get an intimidating combo. This doesn't mean that lies don't bother us. It's actually quite the opposite. Lies and deception seem to affect us more than any other personality type. INFJs also initially give a person every chance. The first assumption of the INFJ will be that the person they are meeting is telling the truth. Call it naive if you want to, but we really believe in the motto, innocent until proven guilty. And because we're laid back and quiet when we first meet someone, they will often tell us some real whoppers. I guess they think we're gullible or something. But the last thing an INFJ is gullible. We know when someone's stretching the truth. We can read the body language, the tone of voice. We have what seems like a sixth sense to know when something is off with someone. And lying falls into that category. Lying puts out a stench to us INFJs, and we pick up on it quick. Still, if the lie is innocent, we'll probably let them get away with it, but we will lose all respect for that person. We'll dread talking to them the next time because we know we're going to have to act impressed with yet another tall tale. And if the lie is hurting others, well, that's when you get the all-knowing glare. And that really intimidates liars and charlatans. Regardless, your ability to pick up on others lying will cause them to see you as weird or even dangerous to them. My suggestion is to keep upholding truth and justice. That sounds like Superman, because it's far better to live in accordance with your morals than to live a fake life. As philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. If this video is helping you, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the INFJ Circle. Number 4, INFJs enjoy deep conversations. I'm just going to level with you here. For INFJs, shallow conversations drain us, but deep and meaningful conversations give us power and inspiration. And while I understand the need for small talk as an opener, if I'm around it too long, I really start to feel an energy drain. As INFJs, we need a deep conversation in order to truly feel connected to someone. Also, deep conversations, they add missing pieces to our theories. These conversations help us to put things together and see the bigger picture. It gives us some great aha moments as well. It's like finding missing pieces to a puzzle that we've been trying to solve. I mean, we can only do so much with one brain, but when we get input from another like-minded brain, hey, that's when the magic happens. That's a lot of brains. Unfortunately, this doesn't happen nearly as often as we'd like it to, but we're always searching for someone who's like-minded. We're always testing the waters, so to speak, and if that person is not a match, well, that can be super intimidating for them. My suggestion is to keep looking and be yourself, because that's the only way you're going to find those people out there who jive with your personality. Number 5, INFJs hold an intimidating amount of knowledge. And did I say INFJs often tend to have a massive vocabulary? Well, typically they do. INFJs tend to read a lot, and when they get curious about something, they pretty much immediately look it up and learn about it. So the INFJ keeps adding knowledge to their database. And this knowledge, it stacks over days, weeks, months, years, decades, and a century, if we get that far. And there is no boundary to the subjects that the INFJ will research. If it interests us, we'll look it up and literally bathe ourselves in it for weeks. Information marinade.
Yummy.
Add in the superpower of being able to tie all these subjects, all these topics together, and you have a very intimidating set of skills. Number 6, INFJs are independent thinkers and often don't go along with the herd. INFJs can be nonconformists. In fact, I'd say that's what we are. But we don't just rebel for the sake of rebelling. We rebel when something doesn't make sense for us as an individual or for society as a whole. If something's harmful or holding back a better future for either us or society, why go along with it? Well, only to fit in with the herd, and INFJs would rather be true to themselves and true to their beliefs than to be a part of a group, especially if we judge that group to be wrong or to be following an illogical pattern of behavior. And while this INFJ trait is admirable, and I would have it no other way, that ability to stand strong for your beliefs, even against the majority, is very, very intimidating to most other types. Speaking of not going along with the herd, if you've ever wondered if enjoying staying home more than going out to social events is okay, watch this video about why I choose to live a boring life next.